We had a meeting at the office. We were running Hartford, or I think Hartford, Connecticut, or one of the Connecticut towns. And we had a meeting. He had called for me, Jimmy Hart, and Randy and Liz to come to the office for a meeting. And I had no idea why. None. Actually, Jimmy and I got there first, and Randy and Liz came later because they had been over at Dick Ebersol's house that afternoon. And we had to rent a car, and we drove over, and Randy and Liz was shuttled over by limo from Ebersol's house.
Why did Ebersol want them?
I guess they were talking about what they were going to be doing for the Saturday night main event. It's nice to not include me.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really. So we waited on them for about a half hour, and Vince really wasn't talking or anything like that. And we kind of just waited around, Jimmy and I did, in like a little meeting room until then they showed up, and here they are. And of course, Vince, how was everything over at Dick's house? Ooh, yeah, very good, yeah, nice. What they doing at Ebersol's house? Mm-hmm. So we go in and sit down, and then Vince starts talking to Randy and Liz, as if I wasn't even there. He's talking to them, telling them, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that.
Now, are you saying anything at this point? You're
No,
just letting Vince...
I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening as...
Your future's being decided by others.
What the fuck am I doing here? You could have called me by phone and told me this. And Pat's sitting there, and it's going to be wonderful, and this, and Randy, after it's all over, you climb up, you drop the elbow on Honky Tonk Man, and a 1, 2, 3, and you put Liz up on your shoulder, and you sashay her around, and the music's playing, and he looks over at me, and he says, and Jimmy, after the 1, 2, 3, you pull, and now he's still not looking at me. And Jimmy, you pull Honky out of the ring, and then he looks at me and said, and Honky, you won't be seen again. But we're going to rebuild you. Okay. I called Jim Barnett in Atlanta. Yeah. And he said, whatever you do, don't lose on TV. Not on that show. He said, it's going to be one of the biggest shows in the history. And he said, if you go out there and they destroy you on that show, you're finished.
You calling him for an advice? You calling him for advice or for a spot?
Both.
Okay.
As I whistled. Both. I got to Winnipeg, and it was just really eating at me bad. And Jack Lanza was the agent, and I called his room. We stayed at the same hotel. Jack, what do you know about this Saturday night main event coming up? Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I know I have to work it. You know, he didn't. He didn't know. He didn't know.
They don't tell the agents what's coming down the pike.
No, he didn't. He didn't know. He says, I don't know. All I know is I have to work it, because I didn't give him any indication. I said, what do you know about this Saturday night main event coming up? And so he said, and I said, well, I need to talk to Vince about it. And he says, okay, is there anything I need to tell him? I said, yeah, you can tell him I'm not doing that fucking job. Exact words. He said, well, I'll be talking to him in about 5 minutes.
How quickly does the phone ring in your hotel?
About 5 minutes. And it was Howard Finkel.
Ah, okay.
And he said, you know, hello, how you doing? I understand that you'd like to talk to Vince about the what we're doing on the Saturday night main event. And I proceeded to tell Howard, which I knew. Now looking back, I know they had me on speaker.
Okay.
It wasn't like Vince is getting ambushed. He's hearing it right now, coming out of my mouth, going into Howard's ear, into the speaker, and it's broadcast over the network. So, and then Vince gets on the phone, and I just unpolitely told him to go fuck himself. I wasn't doing it.
What does he say?
He didn't like it.
But are you making a case that, Vince, are you looking at the houses?
I did
Why
that.
would you do
I said that.
Look what we built.
I said that after, as I was telling him that, this is not going to happen. And then I made the second mistake. I said, I've already talked to Jim Barnett. Oh, fuck, he went nuts.
What is it?
Are you fucking kidding me? Why'd you talking to him? What did you have to talk to Jim Barnett about? I said, well, obviously I didn't get anything to talk to you about.
Sat at your table for 2 hours.
Yeah, I said, we're doing sellout fucking business, Vince. And, I got a new house and a new baby at home. And I said, brother, this ain't, rebuilding me ain't going to happen.